At the moment, shifting our focus to get you this breaking development coming in from the Delhi's IGI airport, where this is an emergency that has been declared after a technical glitch in an aeroplane that is about to land. 8 fire tenders have been rushed to the spot is what we can actually put out for you. And the ATC, remember, in constant communication with the pilot of that plane that has called out for this technical glitch, but not sure if there are more details, remember, trickling in. But as we speak, remember, the story is just developing, and we've just got news that an emergency already has been declared at the IGI airport. This after a plane that is about to land has announced of a technical glitch, and all safety measures, precautions have been put in place, after which 8 fire tenders are on standby. Also, the ambulances, remember, have been pressed into service. We are awaiting more details with our colleague Shanta Shri, who's letting us know about this particular information. Niranjan also joining us, letting us know more details about this. Niranjan, what is it that we can, put out for our viewers on this story?
Well, I have the flight tracker with me. It's the flight radar. It's a website that helps you track the plane. This is a flight essentially that was coming in from Vietnam. And if I can show you the flight path, right now the flight is just above Delhi. It's going to land any minute now. Now this flight that you see in red is RL8772. And to give you more details, as I keep the cameras focused on the flight and its flight path, I'm just quickly going to try and tell you where the flight was coming in from. It was a Boeing 767. And it was headed, I think it was diverted after an emergency call. Sorry for the glitches here on the touchscreen. I'm just trying to show you the flight path as we speak of RL8772. It was about to it is about to land in Delhi's T3. The pilot spotted an engine issue, and the landing is about to take place. Now this is the flight RL8772. Anytime now, it should be landing as per the flight tracker online. The pilot spotted an engine problem and the landing is about to take place. All necessary arrangements have been made to tackle the problem. This is at Terminal 3, runway 11. Terminal 3, runway 11 is where the flight will be landing anytime now. And we're also getting in details of the arrangements that have been made as an emergency is called at the IGI airport. I can confirm to you from our reporter Shanta Shri and also Atul, who brought us these details, that as of this minute, about 8 fire engines are on the runway. That's runway number 11 at Delhi's Terminal 3. And I can tell you that as of this minute, the flight, the ground speed is about 178 knots, altitude about 1,550 feet. So it's just about to land. It's descending and it's about to land from the parameters available to us from the flight radar software and the website. That's the Boeing 767-3Q8. And we're getting details of the altitude, which is changing, of course, because the flight is descending, and the speed at which the flight is traveling as of now. And as we speak, this is the flight. It's highlighted in red. If our video journalist can just focus on that. The flight is almost landing, if not landed. We're waiting for a live update. Shanta Shri is also joining us on the phone line. Has the flight landed, Shanta Shri? What can you tell us?
The flight hasn't landed, Niranjan, yet, but it's about to land. It's hovering over the Delhi airport and it's preparing to land. We know that the first signal was given by pilot, the flagging of the emergency, and the pilot had said that this is an emergency which has come about in the engine technical failure that has taken place and needs to be solved, and that's why it needs to land at IGI airport. And definitely the flight details as mentioned by you, all the preparations has been made at IGI airport at runway 11 of Terminal 3, as we know so far, that all necessary arrangements of fire tenders as well as ambulances made, that any kind of problem, if it arises while it lands, and it will be tackled as soon as possible. So at the end of the day, we have to see when the flight lands, what is the condition that the flight is going to be, and whether any kind of passengers have been affected because of suffocation or any other problems have arisen on board flight. So definitely the pilot that flagged off this particular problem has made this necessary arrangement that this flight needs to land as soon as possible at IGI Airport, Terminal 3, runway 11.
For aviation expert Kanu Gohain also joining us on the phone line. Mr. Gohain, we're given to understand that RL 8772, a Boeing 767 flight is about to land, has called an emergency. Eight fire tenders have been rushed to the runway at Terminal 3, runway 11 at Terminal 3. Is this standard procedure? And we're given to understand that it was the pilot flagged off an engine problem. How do you read the situation, Mr. Gohain?
It is simple. If the pilot has given an emergency call on his engine, then certainly the safety services, that is the airport safety services, will take all measures as given in their book to see that how to mitigate the risk.
Right.
So that just a normal way, they position the fire tenders on the sides of the runway so that as the aircraft lands, the fire tenders will follow it. When the aircraft stops, they stand by for any major fire or explosion that may take place.
As of this minute, it's the Royal flight, that's RL 8772, has declared a general emergency and it's diverting. The reason is unknown, Mr. Gohain. So actually, we're also picking up details as we speak because we don't have the complete details with us. It's a Boeing 7673Q8 flight that was flying in from Vietnam. It had to make a deviation, is what we're given to understand. So, Mr. Gohain, as and when we get some information, we'll get back to you. But thank you, sir. Appreciate you joining us on this breaking story. I'd like to go back to Shantashri at this point as we get in more details of whether the flight has landed, because suddenly on the flight tracker, unable to get details of the flight as of this minute. Do we have more details from our sources in the fire department on whether this flight may have landed? Shantashri. Okay, quick update also getting in. We're getting in from our news team that the DCP of the IGI airport. DCP of the IGI airport is also on the spot. A CISF commandant on spot. All international protocol. All international international protocols have been followed and deployed. And I think we're getting in an update now that the flight has landed. The flight has landed at T3. We'll wait for an official update on the details of the flight. It was an RL 8772, which was flying from Vietnam to Russia. It was flying in from Phu Quoc in Vietnam to Yekaterinburg in Russia. It's landed safely at T3 in Delhi. The police has confirmed that the flight has made its landing. Let's go back to Shantashri as we pick up more details. Safe landing is what we're hearing. Shantashri, can you confirm that? Shantashri, do we have details of whether the flight has landed safely? Okay, we'll try and reconnect with Shantashri, but we're getting in second confirmation that the flight has landed safely. More details are awaited on whether there was any fire that was spotted inside the plane because the pilot had flagged off engine failure. I think Shantashri is back on the phone line with us. Shantashri, can you confirm whether the flight has landed safely and whether
the flight has definitely landed safely? Niranjan, the flight has definitely landed safely, and the preparations that were made in order to any kind of problems that will be tackled immediately is being tackled on right now. Everything is the process is underway. Any defect in engine is being detected right now, and the fire tenders and the ambulances are on standby. Any kind of failure takes place or any kind of other emergency takes place, they are on standby to tackle it. As far as we can confirm this much, that in Terminal 3 runway 11 that emergency was declared because of this particular flight. That flight has landed. The ATC has confirmed it to us, and it is safe. The passengers are all safe right now, and disembarkment will take place in some time from now. And of course, the arrangements that were made are underway in order to tackle the engine failure that was flagged up by the pilot mid-air.
Thank you for joining us with those inputs, Shantashri. So the flight RL 8772 flying in from Vietnam to Russia had to make an emergency landing in Delhi. The pilot flagged off engine failure. As of this minute, all passengers are safe. Disembarkment to take place in a short while from now. Handing it back to you, Deepti.
All right, so Niranjan Shantashri there getting us the latest on that story that for the moment ICM has only been seen as a safe landing there by that particular flight. We are back on the other side, viewers, with lots more.